I want to make a scene for you. I've just woken up and seen that Ryuga's Shadow released overnight. Notifications up on my phone, and I open it up, and I press play. It's pretty standard for a while until we get to the ending. They do the bullshit about how Kisaragi could have taken out Base Shadow and blah blah, until we get to the next time. I see it, and it happens. Lex Luthor. Instantly, my mind rushes back to what I saw between turning on my phone and finding out Ryuga vs. Shadow released, or remembering that it released. I open up Discord to look at my notifications. Who had DM'd me? Biffweed, Kitty, a group that I'm in that I always see 300 notifications for when I wake up, about 4 angry people calling me cringe for my opinions on the internet. But that's it. Nobody else offering to join me for a prediction, like they did with the last two. Nobody wanted to be with me in this prediction. And then I realize, of course, Lex Luthor, match nobody cares about. There's only one option. We know who's going to be in the season. Lex Luthor versus Dr. fucking Doom. I lock my phone, I put it back down, I lie back in bed. Is it really worth waking up today? Do I really want to do this video? Must I really? Yes. Sadly, I must. Lex Luthor versus Dr. Doom. Let's not delude ourselves into thinking this wasn't inevitable. One of the reasons I didn't do a video predicting who was fighting who from the reveals like Biffweed did was because, well, it felt obvious at points, and this was one of the ones, Dr. Doom, where I was questioning the most, but as time went on, it dawned on me that it's definitely Lex Luthor. I would have preferred Black Adam versus Doom, but Adam does have Apocalypse, which people tell me is better in terms of connections, but whatever, I just want Black Adam on Death Battle. And there's Gilgamesh vs. Doom, which people like, but I think it's pretty dumb. It doesn't have the same connections as Skadi vs. Doom, which is the better Fate vs. Doom matchup. But I would have preferred both of those Fate matches over this. Lex Luthor vs. Dr. Doom is a boring idea that, once again, even if they do it right and they do it well, I won't be able to avoid feeling it could have been better if it was a better matchup anyway. So, who wins? Doom. Doom wins. It's not even close. It's not even, like, remotely fair as a fight. Doom has so many ridiculous powers that I can't imagine them getting Lex to win. Doom has, in no particular order, absorbed the likes of Galactus, Nightmare, and the Silver Surfer, the latter of which could resist absorption coming from Mephisto. He can teleport to anywhere he thinks of, swap bodies with people using magic, hack into Reed Richards' technology, blast Morgan Le Fay back through time to 1 million BC. He can literally punch you into 1 million last weeks. He removed the Fantastic Four's powers, he can go back in time over and over again until he wins, he can reverse time just outright, he can distort people's perception by shooting them a few seconds back in time, his armor adapts and has a will of its own and can turn invisible, he can convert matter into energy, scramble your brain so you cannot use your strength, inject toxins into people with a touch, he can shatter the cohesion of someone's molecular structure, he can rearrange people's bodies into a state of disorganization, he has an antimatter gun, he can make illusions, he manipulated Doctor Strange's soul, and he repels the very laws of physics. He knows magics that even Doctor Strange doesn't, and even Scarlet Witch said that he has more magic power than her and Strange. And this is the Scarlet fucking Witch we're talking about here. He has magic that can literally control the experiences of people's lives. He can turn off the penance stare. He can tank blasts from Morgana Le Fay, who erased the Sentry from existence. Hell, he can just summon an army of mindless ones to do the fighting for him. Even without his powers, he could beat Taskmaster in a direct fight without using his magic. What the fuck? Who does he think he is? Dr. Ducko? Oh, and not just that, Doom has mind hacks and trapped Rachel Summers as the Phoenix in his own kind of mental Omega sanction. This fucker once absorbed the Odin Force from a lightning bolt fired by Thor and made his own destroyer armor out of it. He's considered a physical match for Blue fucking Marvel of all people, and that guy's no bitch, he fought King Itherian and the Sentry. He's so good he outdid the calculations of MODOK, and the fucker outright uses the flames of the 14. These are the flames of motherfucking Dormammu, and Dormammu does not fuck around. He outright says the flames could kill Celestials. Now, pardon my French, Mr. Choke, but what the fuck is Lex going to do to that? Sure, Lex has some things going for him. He's got a mother box that he can open boom tubes with, and he can boost his suit's power enough to do better against Superman than prior. But also, he hit Superman with kryptonite beforehand anyway, and using too much of the mother box's power, damaged and fucks his suit up. He can take hits from the Flash in his armor, which is impressive, I guess, even if Flash holds back a lot to the point where he's often fighting street tiers. This is notable enough to say he's at least within the Herald range within his armor. I mean, even took hits from Laughley's, which is quite impressive. He also trains with Amazons as well. Maybe he's also Ducko. And he has a device that can turn people into two-dimensional prisoners. Cool, he can reverse your dimensionality, but it's not perfect, and Superman punched out of it with his fist. Now sure, they could argue Lex just straight up scales to Superman, so he's stronger and faster, but not only can you get Doom to equivalent levels via scaling to the likes of Thor and Silver Surfer, but Lex doesn't even scale to Superman really. Superman is always holding back. He held back when fighting Emperor Joker. So scaling to Superman is hard for pretty much anyone, literally almost every fight as well. Luthor hits Superman with kryptonite first. Doom, however, is constantly able to put up a much better fight against characters of that tier more consistently. Even if you say Superman's a good deal stronger than Thor, the fact that Luthor still needs to kryptonite him doesn't really change the fact that Doom is just consistently better. Fuck, Doom has survived a blast that knocked out Galactus from the Beyonder. Sure, Doom didn't take most of the blast, but consider who the fuck we're talking about here. An Avatar of the Beyonder outright says this shit, and given what the Beyonder is, I'm inclined to believe him. Fucking hell, Doom has just punched Mephisto out with his bare hands, the guy that fights Zarathos, who they already put at Universal. So while they could make Luthor win, that would be really dumb. It's also going to be a hard sell that Doom, a guy who is significantly better than Iron Man in pretty much every way, would lose to Luthor when Iron Man won. I mean, Doom just scales better, he has more consistency, he's got better hacks, he should win, straight up. I mean, Luthor is bringing technology and little else into a fight with a guy who controls technology with his brain and also has ridiculous magic powers. Now yes, it's not to say Luthor could not win, but they really would have to fuck it up to get Doom to lose this fight. And that's my thing. Why is the video so short? Well, just for the sake of consistency and to make the podcast-style predictions not be the totality of what I say about episodes, from now on I'm going to be splitting the reviews and predictions into separate videos. It makes more sense because there's no longer a review in the prediction. People who want my opinion on episodes can find that out without having to go through my predicting things. It gives you guys more dedicated videos to me, makes my job easier. It's a win-win, really. Now, what do I expect from this episode? I mean, just have it start with Luthor stealing 40 cakes from Latveria. I'm instantly dropping it 1 point from wherever I normally rank it if it doesn't start with that.
Do not toot it! Fool! Dr. Doom toots as he pleases!